Drexler Boyce, a recent graduate of Westchester High School, shone brightly as a young and gifted student. He garnered numerous academic awards and received a letter of recognition from no other than Maxine Waters herself. He spent his formative years in a rugged environment of Inglewood, California, situated in Los Angeles County. Following his graduation, Drexler made a deliberate choice to distance himself from his life in Inglewood. He opted to relocate with his father home in Long Beach, California. Unfortunately, fate had a tragic twist in store for him. On April 24, 2010, while waiting for a bus in Inglewood between Beach and Venice Way, Drexler's journey was abruptly halted by an unidentified Hispanic assailant who tragically ended his life with a fatal gunshot from a vehicle.
This corner of Beach Avenue and Venice Way in Inglewood is where bullets almost literally tore the life from his 18-year-old body.
Drexler was waiting at this bus stop back here for the bus, and he was confronted by two male Hispanics in a white Honda, older model. He told the officers that they banged on him. To us, that means that they were asking him what gang he was affiliated with.
The timeline's a little confusing here because Drexler was able to tell this to police after he had been shot, but before he died of his wounds. Detective De La Torre picks up the story where we left off.
And at that point, one of them exited the vehicle, and he stood up to run, and they fired 3 shots at him from approximately 15 feet away, hit him in the lower back, and then on one of his arms.
Although the motives behind the shooting was widely speculated to be gang-related, no suspects were ever apprehended in connections to his ultimate passing. Drexler's family, determined to keep his memory alive, utilized Facebook as a memorial, sharing pictures and extending heartfelt birthday wishes every year. Amidst circulating rumors of potential culprits having been identified, official confirmation remains elusive. Rest in peace, Drexler Boyce. Alexis Walker, July 10, 2023. On a Monday morning, 27-year-old wife and mother Alexis Walker was shot and killed in front of a church between 123rd Street and Willowbrook Avenue around 7:20 a.m. It's unclear what provoked the attack. There has been no suspects or arrests for her murder. There has been very little media attention, only on Facebook where her family and friends post updates on her memorial. A month after her death in August, her memorial was destroyed and vandalized.
Over here, and my niece's stuff was kicked all over. This ain't no wind. Wind do not do this. Wind do not do this, bro. You know what I'm saying? The wind do not do that. This dude is still out here.
Still, no leads or arrests.
And it's very
have been
disrespectful.
made, and the murderers remain at large. Rest in peace, Alexis Walker.
As soon as we came over here, everything was kicked over. We're just picking up and cleaning up. But we about to set right back up.
It was a beautiful day on October 18, 2001,
I love my niece.
When a 14-year-old Dwayne Jackson Jr. and his loved ones were out enjoying a bike ride in the peaceful neighborhood of Carson, California. However, their day took a tragic turn shortly after 5:30 p.m. when a vehicle described as a 1980 Chevrolet Caprice approached them. The car had a taxi sign attached to the top, and Dwayne, being the helpful and friendly person he was, thought that the person might need of assistance with directions. He moved closer to the vehicle to offer his help, but he could not hear what was being said. Suddenly, without warning, the unimaginable happened. A passenger in the back seat of the car pulled out a shotgun and fired at Dwayne, hitting him in the chest. Dwayne's family and friends were left in shock and disbelief as they watched him fall to the ground. Their lives forever changed. Despite exhaustive efforts by law enforcement, the individuals responsible for this heinous crimes have yet to be brought to justice. The drivers of the vehicle was described as a young black male aged between 17 and 20 years old, with a bald head and dressed in dark clothing. The backseat passenger was also a young male, believed to be around the same age, with a dark complexion and cornrows. Dwayne was a beloved member of the community, and his tragic loss is still felt by many. His family and friends are left with unanswered questions, grief, and heartache that will never fully heal. If anyone has any information that can help bring closure to this case, please contact the Los Angeles County Sheriff Homicide Division. Brandon Wallace. On that fateful summer night in 2004, a tragic incident occurred on Caper Avenue in Pomona that left the entire community in fear and turmoil. A 12-year-old boy named Brandon Wallace was sitting in a parked car outside a house party when an unknown assailant approached him and stabbed him multiple times. The attack was swift and vicious, and despite being rushed to the hospital, Brandon could not be saved. The news of his death sent shockwaves through the neighborhood, and people were left wondering who could have committed such a heinous act. The police arrived at the scene and began investigating, but the killer was never identified. The community was left in a state of fear and uncertainty, unsure if the attacker was still out there waiting to strike again. As days turned into years, turned into weeks, and then the weeks turned into months, the mystery of Brandon's murder only deepened. People were left wondering why someone would attack a young boy, and what could have motivated them to commit such a violent act. Adding to the mystery was the fact that no one in the community was willing to come forward with the information. Many feared retaliation from the killer or his associates, and the code of silence that had been long established in the neighborhood made it nearly impossible for the police to get any leads. As time passed, the memory of Brandon's death still haunted the community. People whispered about the attack in hushed tones, and the parents kept a closer eye on their children, fearful that they could too become the next victims. Even now, nearly 2 decades later, the mystery of Brandon's murder remains unsolved. The community continues to search for answers, hoping that one day the killer will be brought to justice and the neighborhood can finally find closure. Chester Clarence Chang was born on March 1st, 1979, in Santa Monica, California. He lived there with his parents and grew up to be a successful pilot for a private company, a career that made his parents extremely proud, especially his father, who was also named Chester Chang. Chester's father served as an honorary captain during wartime, and he saw his son as the embodiment of courage and dedication. Unfortunately, tragedy struck the Chang family on May 7, 2005, when Chester's life was cut short. After a night out with friends at a local bar in Koreatown, Los Angeles, Chester witnessed a conflict between 2 people, an Asian gang member from the area and the other from San Gabriel. Being the kind soul he was, Chester tried to intervene, but in the process, he was fatally shot. Days, weeks, and months passed without any information leading to the identity of Chester's killer. The Chang family was left to grieve, and Chester's absence was sorely felt. His family spoke out about the violence in the city, calling for change. They dedicated themselves to serving the community, providing hot meals to the poor and homeless residents, and donating an extremely rare Buddha statue to the Los Angeles County Museum of Arts. Chester's family hoped that Buddha, and the symbol of a common religious belief among Asian cultures, will become a source of pride in the community. Chester's untimely death was a tragic loss for his family, friends, and the community at large. The Chang family has never given up hope that justice will be served and that Chester's killer will be brought to justice. They urge anyone with information about the murder to contact the Los Angeles Police Department and to help bring closure to the family and loved ones. Let us honor Chester's memory and legacy by working together and build a safer, more peaceful community where kindness and compassion are always valued above all else. Thank you for listening. This is Trueable Crime, and have a good night.